Hello, my friends, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hello, my name is Dee, aka The Messy Perfectionist, and my channel is a place for real talk, inspiration, personal growth, learning, and more. Today we are going to be talking about the 5 tips that I used on this second round for my pre-op preparation diet. If you have been following along, you know that I was supposed to have my surgery back on September 21st, but due to an unforeseeable circumstance that had nothing to do with me, my surgery had to be canceled and then rescheduled. So I had to go ahead and redo my 2-week pre-op diet, and I was really hesitant on even doing a second video. However, I feel this time around I was much better prepared, and I wanted to share this with you guys that really helped me as a redo for this little diet and preparation. My surgery is scheduled for this coming Friday. I am currently on the last day of being on a full liquid, it's semi-liquid diet. You're allowed to have some chicken and tuna and things like that. Tomorrow I start my clear liquids, Thursday clear liquids, and then my surgery is scheduled for Friday very, very early in the morning. The biggest thing that I feel was the most important change that I made this go around on round 2 of my pre-op diet was mental prep. Number 1, I knew what was in store for me, and I feel like I could do a little bit better around that. I also reconciled with the fact that my surgery had been put off again. And instead of feeling sorry for myself, I used this time to be better prepared in regards to completely getting off coffee, which was huge for me. I'm sure I mentioned in one of my previous videos that I've been on coffee forever, and of all things, that was like the holy grail that I had to give up. So super happy I got off coffee. I went ahead and thought about some things that could keep me busy, but wouldn't be exhausting, as I'm like not eating a lot of calories. Staying between 800 calories, 900 calories, 1,000 max, and wanted to keep my mind occupied, be able to have some movement, but not be wearing myself thin, and be able, obviously, to take care of all the other daily stuff like caring for my child, cleaning my house, doing laundry, you know, all the daily things that need to get done. So I decided to mentally and also write some things down as far as preparation goes. For activities, I went ahead and I knew I wanted to get some things organized. I knew that I was not probably going to have the energy or maybe even the physical ability to do some of the harder things like vacuuming my house, which is already tough for me because of my back and hip issues. So I really wanted to get that done. Things like washing the sheets, you know, so I don't have to worry about that after coming home from the hospital. I decided I would organize my space a little bit more in my bedroom. This is also where I film, so I just wanted it to feel really good. Do some deep cleaning projects and also go through some items and prepare them for donation. I went ahead and I also, in my preparation, created a meal plan and shopping list and made sure that I shopped before I started my diet, before I was hungry, and that I would not have to return to the grocery store during my diet. This is a lesson I have learned when I have done previous HCG rounds. You do not want to go to the grocery store ravenous. It is miserable. I also wanted to schedule some me time. So at least, you know, one day a week to have some time to just relax a little bit and do some of my sewing projects that I like, and talk about what I bought and how I meal prepped and how I ate for the last 2 weeks. Really tried to think outside the box a little bit with my meal planning because it is such a small list. However, I'm glad I did not have to be on a full liquid like some people are for 2 weeks. My doctor's office allows you to have chicken and tuna and also egg whites. My dietitian also gave me permission to have spinach, so this kind of opened things up for me a little bit. With that, I thought about how can I do something so I'm regularly putting food or drink into my body so I'm not feeling awful, because the last time, before I even reached the second week, I was really starting to feel yucky. And that was because I was bored with what I was consuming. And so I just decided I just wouldn't eat anything at all. And that's not great. You are going to be calorically deprived after surgery for a while. So it's important that you strengthen your body with nutrients as much as possible. I was able to find these egg wraps. They are just egg whites, and you can use them kind of like a tortilla or a pita wrap, and used those to kind of make a wrap with some sliced turkey deli meat and some of my spinach, and felt totally satisfied with that for a few lunches. I went to Costco and purchased they have the pulled apart rotisserie chicken already, and I separated that into a few things so that I could freeze it and rethaw it as needed. Honestly, I ate very little of that, and my husband and my daughter mostly ate the rotisserie chicken. So I think I added a little bit of chicken to my egg whites one day, but I did purchase that to have on hand. I also went ahead and purchased 3 different of my Premier protein shakes, because I don't know about you, but you sure get tired of drinking the same flavor every day. So I got my vanilla, which I love. I got a caramel one, and chocolate. I totally got off coffee, which was amazing. I was pretty much off of coffee by the last time. I was drinking decaf still. I have since been able to be off all coffee about the last week and a half. I have switched to an herbal caffeine-free coffee substitute called Dandy Blend, which is fabulous, and I will talk a little bit more about that in a bit. I did go ahead and get 3 different flavors of the Protein 2O water. My favorite is the tropical coconut, but there's also a cherry and like a berry one, I think, or something like that. Purchased those off Amazon. I got some fat-free Greek yogurt so that I could have that for meals. And I did purchase a bone broth and a vegetable broth. And I also purchased some ground chicken so that I could make a soup, and I'll tell you how I did that. You know what I bought, and I know I talked a little bit about the egg white wraps already. I kind of started looking at meals differently. And again, this is part of that mental prep and also physical prep, right? I said when I was giving up coffee, or I was giving up caffeinated coffee, it was really super hard. And I would always use sugar-free creamer or powdered creamer or half and half. And that adds up to a lot of calories in a day, just on itself when you start tracking. And that is also something I did. So what I started using was, thinking of meals differently and thinking, okay, my Premier protein, that's going to be my breakfast. I can add it to my warm drink in the morning. So originally I was adding my Premier protein, my vanilla Premier protein to my decaf coffee. Once I got completely off coffee, I was just then mixing some of the Dandy Blend with the Premier protein, and it tastes good. It tastes almost like a frap, like a frappuccino or something. And my favorite is mixing it with the caramel, because I love caramel frappuccinos. I miss that, but I'm not going to miss all the calories and sugar. So why did I switch from decaf to the Dandy Blend? Well, number one, dandelion root is really good for your liver detox. Okay, I'm going to read this. The polysaccharides in dandelion are thought to help your liver detox, supporting its ability to produce bile. Dandelion also contains, I cannot say this word, I'm trying to read it on my notes, terexestrol. It is a compound known for its ability to fight inflammation in the body and for your body to not overreact to unnecessary inflammation. It's also high in vitamin C and A. It's a good source of magnesium, calcium, iron, and zinc. So all things that are good for your liver, for your kidneys, your immune systems. I feel really good about drinking it. It only has 5 calories and 1 gram of carbohydrates per serving, and 1 serving is what I was having a day. Again, it is caffeine free, and I loved it because it has no acidity and no bitterness to it like decaf coffee can. With the ground chicken, I went ahead and made a pot of soup. Now, I did put some onion in the pan to saute with like a celery stick. I added the container of vegetable broth and bone broth, and I made like little meatballs, kind of almost like an Italian wedding soup. And this made about 6 servings. I would have my protein water between meals, so mid-morning and then in the evening. And most of the time I wound up consuming my yogurt as a dinner. I would put my fat-free Greek yogurt into a dish, and I would add a little bit of stevia and some pumpkin pie spice seasoning. It's like the cinnamon nutmeg blend that you can get, and that satisfied me as far as a sweet treat. It's creamy, and I felt pretty well satiated from that. I tend to stay up a little later with my husband after my daughter goes to bed so that we can have some time with each other. If I feel really hungry, I would go ahead and have one of my Premier protein shakes. Most of the time, not even a full one, just half. I basically was just consuming about 1.5, max 2 protein shakes a day. And I also went ahead and tracked all my calories in my MyFitnessPal, and I tried to stay within that caloric limit of, like I said, about 800 to 1,000. We'll say it was typically around 800 calories a day. Activities and movements that I planned. So what did I do? I wanted to make sure that I was getting in at least 3,000 to 5,000 steps, which I met every day. I was able to start walking in the mornings again. The weather's been a little bit nicer here, finally. So it's not ninth gate of hell heat, and we could take little short walks in the morning. But I really wanted to get outside and get that fresh air, and also to help get my steps in so that I was staying a little active beyond just my daily activities without exhausting myself. I also incorporated some gentle yoga. Now, I did not do this every day. I did not have the energy for it every day, but I was like, if I could at least get 15 minutes of yoga in a few times a week, that's better than nothing. And it really helps set my intention for the day and kind of calm my mind, and it's good for my body. I went ahead and went through my clothing, my daughter's clothing, got my boxes ready to donate. Hubby put them in the truck, just got to drive them over to Goodwill. For some of my personal time, I was able to visit with my best friend. I considered that kind of like my me time. Another thing I did for myself was I participated in my Real Appeal program, which I mentioned in one of my other videos that I went ahead and signed up for as it was free through my insurance. And it's a really nice program. I highly recommend it for people who are just feeling lost. They don't know how to eat properly, or don't feel like you're doing well at all. It really walks you through all of those things. And you also have group support sessions weekly, and you can do one-on-one sessions with your coach. So I've been taking full advantage of that. Okay, so what are some of the difficulties that I encountered as I did my round 2 of my pre-op diet? Going into this second week, about Sunday, today's, as I'm recording this, it's Tuesday. So about Sunday, I started feeling a little bit of overwhelm and just missing food and feeling like, oh my God, I'm never going to have this again. And, just that negative self-talk that started happening, which isn't true. None of that is true. It's just going to be a little while, and it is worth it for me. I have tried everything else. I've worked really hard, and I know that this is what I need to be doing. So I just kind of had to talk myself through that a little bit more so that I could feel that kind of that strength come up in me again and overcome those mental cravings. I would say I did not have any real big food cravings except for chocolate. I really craved chocolate. I love dark chocolate. And as far as cheats go on the diet, I did cheat a few times, nothing big, but I did have a couple of pieces of my dark chocolate, and I also had some nuts throughout the protocol. I figure that's better than eating like a whole piece of cake or a piece of pizza or, that Frappuccino that I really miss. But, I understand that it was still not on my meal plan, and was a no-no. How did I do overall? I lost 10 pounds so far, which is amazing. I do realize most of that is water weight. Major positive that I feel like I got out of this was I overall started having less joint pain. And that was kind of the reminder connection for me, again, of food and inflammation response in my body and how it impacts me. I used to be at a place where I was very aware and very, oh my God, so ridiculously particular with every little thing that went in my body because I knew these things, but we all forget or we choose to forget, and we need reminders. And I remembered that, wow, when I am eating like very super clean is what I would consider this, you're hardly eating anything at all, but I'm eating super clean, not eating a lot of meat, not eating a lot of dairy. I always feel better when I stick to vegetables and protein. Obviously didn't get a lot of vegetables with this. I was allowed spinach, but I did have spinach in my egg whites, and I also had spinach in my egg white wraps that I was making. For my clear liquids, I will be able to have chicken broth ready to go, or vegetable broth ready to go. I have some decaffeinated teas. I will be drinking plenty of water, which is something I also did throughout this. I have a water bottle, and it's 32 ounces, and I would fill it twice a day. So I was really good about getting in my water most days as well. You can have things like sugar-free ice pops. I could not find sugar-free ice pops. However, my dietitian at the clinic had suggested making like Crystal Light water and freezing some. I don't have any Crystal Light, but I thought that was a good idea. I can also try freezing maybe my protein water. I thought making some of those and seeing how that works. I don't know. I could let you guys know and see if those freeze well. I'm not sure how they will freeze. So if all goes well, I'm on my way. I had to get a COVID test today again. So the hospital requires you to have a COVID test done at their urgent care scheduled. So I went ahead and had that done. I'm sure it's fine. I have been basically quarantined this whole time because I just have been cautious and didn't want to take a chance on anything else happening and possibly having my surgery postponed again. Okay guys, so I hope that was helpful in some maybe ideas for yourself if you're going on to the pre-op diet for 2 weeks. You can do this. It's just a short period of time, and just remember the end goal. And if you really feel like this is what's right for you and where you should be going next on your journey, then listen to your heart and know that you are stronger than you give yourself credit for, and you can do this, and we can do this. So thanks so much for watching, you guys. I really appreciate all the support, the comments. Love y'all so much, and I will be seeing you on the other side of this. Might have hubby film me a little bit if we're able to in the hospital, because I thought that might be a fun video to do. See me at my worst, but you know, it's all information. It's all things that I looked for when I was considering surgery. So again, do hope this was helpful information for you. You guys all have a great day. Thanks again for watching. Talk to you soon.